This video is about metals and alloys. Metals can form giant structures with their atoms arranged in a regular pattern. And I'm sure the general diagram for a solid metal would be quite familiar to you, with the atoms arranged in a regular pattern, closely, tightly packed together. And being in this regular pattern, it also means the layers of atoms are easily able to slide over each other. So this layer here and this layer here can slide over each other. That's what makes pure metals actually quite soft, and you're able to bend and shape the metals into whatever shape you want, because of these layers of atoms here able to slide over each other. So this is the general structure for metals, and you can also get something called alloys, and alloys can be either a mixture of two metals or a mixture of a metal and a non-metal. So a mixture containing at least one metal. So it could be two metals together, for example nickel and titanium, forming an alloy, which we'll come on to in a minute. Or it could be something, on the other hand, like iron and carbon, which come together to form the alloy steel. And the main thing with the alloys is their arrangement of particles, or the arrangement of the atoms in the alloy, is different to a pure metal. So in a pure metal, like we said before, you've got the regular arrangement of atoms. They're able to slide over each other in these layers. But in an alloy, everything's a little bit different. So you've got the metal atoms still, but this time the arrangement is not so regular. The arrangement of the atoms has been distorted because it now has different sized atoms in the mixture. So this, for example, could be the carbon, and the larger atoms could be the iron if we were just depicting the alloy of steel. So the main points that we need to consider when we're talking about alloys is the fact that different sized atoms distort the regular arrangement of the atoms. So if we were to compare the two now, you can see that a pure metal, the layers of the atoms are able to easily slide over each other. That makes the pure metal quite soft and easy to bend and shape. Whereas the alloy over here, you've got different size atoms distorting that regular arrangement. So now the atoms cannot slide over each other easily. Because of this irregular arrangement of the atoms. And that makes the alloy, therefore, a lot harder than a pure metal, because you can't slide those atoms over each other, you can't bend or shape it very easily. Now, some very special alloys that you need to know about are called shape memory alloys, and this refers to the nickel and titanium alloy that I briefly mentioned on just a minute ago. And nickel and titanium form an alloy called nitinol. And this nitinol is an example of a shape memory alloy. And what shape memory alloys do is that they return to their original shape after being deformed. And this nitinol shape memory alloy has formed some very useful products. For example, it is used in braces, it is used in spectacles, and it is used in things like stents for keeping the arteries open. Because when the nitinol is misshapen, it will return to its original shape in response to heat or electricity. So in these cases, they're in response to heat. So if you had a shape for a brace that you would like the person's teeth to arrange themselves into, you would construct a nitinol alloy in that shape for the perfect arrangement of teeth that you wanted. Then when you come to put that in the person's mouth, you will have to bend the nitinol around their irregular teeth shape that they have at the moment, and with the heat of your mouth, this nitinol that you've bent around will return to the original shape that you've made it in, making therefore your teeth form this regular arrangement around here that the braces have been intended to make. So you've made it in this perfect shape that you want the teeth at. You have to bend it around the teeth that you have and attach it, and the heat of the mouth will force the nitinol back into its original shape. With spectacles, there's a very special kind of spectacles that can be made using the nitinol alloy, and with these glasses they can be misshapen. So if you sit on your glasses, for example, and bend them, or if a young child gets hold of them and bends your glasses, it's not the end of the world, because if they are misshapen, you can add heat, so put them in hot water for example, and they will return back to their original shape. Similarly, in stents, stents are tubes which are used to keep your arteries open. So there's some diagrams here just to give you the sort of idea of this metal mesh shape that would be put inside an artery. Now, to get inside the artery, you would want the stent to be very small, but once inside you would like it to open up so that the artery is open fully. So if you were to make this from a shape memory alloy, you could make the stent as you would want the size inside the artery, but to get it inside you would have to squash it to make it smaller and then put it into the artery, and the heat would allow the shape memory alloy to return to its original shape.